Pope Francis passes away at age 88 on Easter Monday, fulfilling the Saint Malachi prophecy. And if you don't know what it is, I'm going to tell you. Pope Francis for weeks has been suffering from double pneumonia. It's nothing new for him, as it's a consequence of a surgery that he had when he was younger, where they had to take a piece of his lung out that made him prone to infections. Odd thing is, it was hours after J.D. Vance went to meet the Pope and told him he's going to pray for him every day, and that he was happy that he was feeling better, that the Pope passes away. Remember in Christmas and Christmas Eve when the Pope opened the 5 sacred portals, including the one never before performed ritual opening the Basilica of St. Pietro's portal? Remember the face he made when he looked inside? It seems as if he had seen something that we could not see. Then when that was happening, do you remember the orbs in New Jersey? Then when I went to see them, I told you all that I saw what looked like Ezekiel's throne angels. You know, the chariots of gods that are driven by the cherubim angels on the inside. Basically, they're sentient craft. So in my mind, when the Pope is opening these portals and letting God only knows what out, these orbs, these celestial throne angels, were here to combat them. There was a spiritual war. At least that's how I took it, and that's how I felt about it. Now, the St. Malachi prophecy. Will Pope Francis be the last pope? And what does it mean for us? St. Malachi's prophecies of the popes. So what are the St. Malachi prophecies for the future popes? It's a set of 112 cryptic Latin phrases claiming to predict the lineage of all of the popes all the way up until the end of the world, until the alleged Armageddon. Even though the word Armageddon means new beginnings and does not mean the end of the world. While these prophecies are very popular, it's absolutely not recognized by the church. These prophecies were first published in 1595. He was an Irish Archbishop of Armagh. The prophecy predicts a decline of the Catholic Church, and we've seen this. After the decline of the Catholic Church, it's the time of Peter of Rome, who will lead the world to an apocalypse. Peter of Rome will lead the church through a period of tribulation. Another way to interpret this is, he may be the last pope of the old, while now comes in the pope of the new. You know, with the Anunnaki coming back and everything. The firmament, the UAPs coming out of our oceans, the Sumerian scriptures telling us that the world is like a snow globe. Katy Perry and her little girl gang that go to space. But did they? Almost as if it was a distraction to make us fully believe the world is a globe? I don't know. So let me tell you about St. Malachi. He was very famous for his exorcisms, especially for saving 2 women that were said to be possessed by the devil. Then other reported accounts were of people that would confess to Malachi, and they would be cured of their illnesses. So St. Malachi wrote these 112 phrases that led and gave indications of who the future popes would be. And he oddly got several of them correct, which led people to believe that there is truth in his prophecies. So if his prophecies are true, we're living in the end time. In Description of the Future, John 22nd. From the bony shoemaker, this pope was the son of a shoemaker, and his family was from ossa, which means bone. In another example, lilium et rosa was the phrase used to describe the pope, who would be Urban VIII, whose family coat of arms was covered with lilies and roses. Then these prophecies were discovered in the Roman archives. So the clues for the new pope is Peter of Rome. And this pope will guide us through all of these tribulations. And at the same time, the prophecy on Pope Francis is that he was the last pope. So what do you think? How do you interpret all of this?